All right, there we go. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to be with you. Thanks for stopping by today. And we got a guest in the studio. I look awfully pale on that picture. I drive the producers crazy. If you're watching the show, I don't know how. Yeah. We got a giant screen in here, and the show streams, so I get to see the images, and I drive Gary crazy. There you go. I don't look like I stepped out of a TB ward. Some tuberculosis ward in Switzerland, you know. Please.
You look 6 or 8 times better than how I would expect you to look with your treatment protocols.
I know.
Cancer treatment.
I'm a little pale. I
I think most people would be laid out in bed in a hospital ward, and you're here hosting a show. It's quite impressive.
Wow. That voice you hear is a paid consultant. No, that's Richard. That's Richard Passwater. What you need to do is get out of that chair, go into that chair, but just bring those bags over here, Richard, because that chair's for people who are very tall and that's broken. You'll sink to the floor, and then all you'll see is the top of your head, and look like you're doing an imitation of of John the Baptist when he was beheaded. Please, there you go. Richard Passwater's in the studio, and as you can tell, we try to have fun. We don't try, we do. We do. We enjoy doing this. Serious matter, your health, right? Can't get any more serious than that, especially if you're having a difficult time. And if you're in good health, we'll just gently remind you not to take it for granted. And we're trying to do all that we can, as we've done for the past 12 years, to help people take charge of their health. This tagline for the show is your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you. But I often will say in promos I write and voice, you take charge of your health. Not so easy to do that because you're the boss, right? You have to make the decisions. You make the choices. And you have to be consistent. And that's hard to do because you get distracted with everyday affairs of life. You have to resist that temptation and figure out how you integrate your health into your life in such a way that it's just a natural thing for you to do. It takes a while, but once you get that habit formed, you'll see it'll make a difference. Again, you have to practice it. So we try to tell you how to do that. And there's if you have a question about that or anything else, no matter what else I'm talking about, call us, contact us. Gary's going to tell you how.
877-897-8255, or you can reach us on Facebook at Let's Talk Nutrition, one word. Don't forget, we're working on our Instagram, so you can follow us on Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition and Twitter at LTN Radio.
Could you just spend a moment, Gary, and explain what Instagram is to those who may be new to social media?
Okay, if you're new to social media, Instagram is basically based on pictures and videos, just little bitty snippet videos, about 15 seconds, or still pictures. And the other day, Doc was reading a book, How Not to Die, and I thought it was kind of interesting, and so I took a picture of him reading the book, and then I posted that on Instagram. So,
did anybody? What happens? Do people? They don't like it. How do you know?
Yeah, they like it. They like it, and the McGregor fan club responded. Michael Greger's fan club responded, and they liked it too.
Yeah, I like that book. It's excellent.
Are you looking for the book?
That's my bag. This is the street version of Dr. Oz. No pretense around here. I'm walking around with a bag, man. You gotta love it. I'll get on Dr. Oz. You watch. Here it is, How Not to Die. Michael Greger. Yesterday, I referenced his chapter on his Daily Dozen. And he says in the book, it's his latest book. Now, if you're interested in a plant-based approach, then this is the book for you. You know, you go after it. Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen, page 272. And his Daily Dozen it's an interesting list of foods he recommends for you to consider every day. Here's what he says. Beans, 3 servings. Have at it. Berries, 1 serving. Other fruits, 3 servings. Cruciferous vegetables, notice how he isolates those. 1 serving. Greens, 2. Other vegetables, 2. Flax seeds, 1. Nuts, 1. Spices, 1. Whole grains, at least 3 servings. Beverages, 5 servings. Of course, he's not talking about soda or pop. And exercise, 1 dose, if you will. That's his Daily Dozen. Then he explains why that's all good. Now, what I've been trying to do with Gary is introduce him to some plant-based foods. I gave him some soup the day before. Yesterday it's a pea soup. And today I brought in a sweet potato that I baked last night. It's cold now. You can still eat it. It tastes great. And some guacamole recipe that he can eat. It's sort of like a treat. And 95% of what I brought him today is organic. So little by little, I'll introduce these foods to him and see if we can start to change his relationship with food. He's trying to lose weight. He's having a hard time. Talked about that yesterday. You haven't tried the soup yet?
No, I'm doing that today. Because I'm going to be here at the studio till about 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And then I'm going to be at the Crunch South Tampa from 5:30 to 8 tonight.
Well, all right. Since you mentioned it, you'll be at Crunch Fitness here in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
Where is that located?
That is located at South Del Mabry and Gandy. It's a quarter mile north of Gandy on the left-hand side.
Right down the road from the studio.
Right across the street from the Lowe's. And we're going to be over there giving away prizes and gifts and gift cards.
Good.
And some of our sponsors from the show are going to be there with us. BSN's going to be there.
Oh, BSN.
Yeah.
Great sports nutrition company.
Yeah, they're going to be there with us, and they're going to do a thing on protein and the differences in proteins and what they carry. They're always there, and they're doing a thing there. Usually somebody from Now Foods usually goes.
Okay.
And then actually Richard Passwater's company is going to be there, and Natural Factors is usually sending somebody else. So
yeah.
Really good.
He works for a company in Denmark.
Belgium, and Biominerals, Envy. We're a research and development company out of
I was
Belgium.
in the neighborhood.
You were in the right neighborhood, absolutely.
Biominerals, you said?
Biominerals is the name.
Yeah, they make a product called
BioSil. It's a collagen generator.
Right. And that product is a big fave. People love that product for good reason, because it works. We'll get into that today. And go to Facebook page. You can watch me do the show live. As a matter of fact, I'm waving to myself because I'm on Facebook. I need to send Gary an article. A couple days ago, I talked about one of the merits of coffee. Well, and I said your daily coffee could help you live longer. That was the headline. And there are a number of studies about that. And I try to be open-minded, and I want to tell you what the flip side of that coffee coin is. There are some cautionary notes about caffeine. I want to bring them to your attention. I think you should know. I don't want to mislead people. You know, you shouldn't be walking around with a Mr. Coffee pot attached to your hip. I wasn't suggesting that the other day. So let's see what we can find and what I can share with you about that on LTN Coast to Coast.
Are you waking up each day to the life you have to live, or to the life...
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. Here's a little bit of breaking news for you. Campbell's. We'll get to the coffee in a minute, the coffee story. Campbell's, you know, the tomato soup people. Guess what they're doing? Guess what they're doing? They're acquiring the soup. This great soup giant is acquiring oat and hemp milk companies. The one in particular is Pacific Foods. Those of you who are into natural foods, Pacific Foods is one of the big companies. I've used their almond milk in the past. And they're known, Pacific Foods is known for its shelf-stable plant-based milk products, and apparently they're being acquired for $700 million. Why do I tell you about this? These food companies are not idiots. They see something happening in the world, generally in certain parts of the world, the U.S. in particular. And what's that something? Natural food products are making their way into the mass market in a big way, and it's profitable. I don't have any problem with that. None. And I find it interesting that they want to acquire these companies, not just because of the profit motive, but it's sort of like the blending of, how can I put this, two different paradigms into one. You'll see supermarket chains right now. Publix is one of them. I don't know if they've abandoned the concept where they have their Greenwise products worked into the shelving with the traditional products. They even have a store here in Tampa, in South Tampa. It's a Greenwise store. It's a sort of a blend of traditional food and natural foods. Interesting. It tells you that the consciousness about food is changing, although the Western diet is dominated with processed foods. It's crap. I don't know how else, I know how else to say it, but I want to make a point here. But Campbell's is acquiring Pacific Foods. One wonders where this is all going to go in the end. We'll see. Coffee. I like caffeine. I reported on a coffee story just the other day. There are a number of claims associated with coffee. Be careful about some of the claims. About 89% of the population is consuming coffee. That's a large portion. Coffee's loaded with, it's a mixture of molecules, caffeine, antioxidants, and sometimes carcinogenic substances. You have to be careful. Now, in this article, I found it on Medical News Today if you're interested, and you can go read it for yourself. It was written by Yella Ewings Martin, Dr. Ewings Martin. I'm giving Dr. Martin credit here, attribution. Nice, it's a nice piece. And he said that Dr. Martin points out that there are some cautionary studies. Now, caffeine is a compound that ancient cultures figured out a long time. They may not have had a chemistry lab, but they knew. The Incas, everybody figured it out that caffeine was something that was stimulating. Certain plants, they would eat the leaves or whatever, and they would get a bump or get pumped. So this is nothing new. And you'll find caffeine in tea leaves, coffee beans, cocoa beans, and so on. There's also synthetic caffeine, and I'm not a fan. And they add it to drinks and foods, and you have to read for that. And it's also put in medications, Dr. Martin points out in the article. An average 8-ounce cup of brewed coffee contains between 95 and 165 milligrams of coffee. A single shot of espresso, less you thought was more, didn't you? 47 to 64 milligrams. You get one of those venti cups like this one. See it? Starbucks. That's a venti. Venti, 20 ounces. You do the math. 20 ounces, if there's let's say there's 100 in 8 ounces, there's, you're approaching 400 milligrams of coffee in a venti. 89% of adults consume coffee in the United States, in coffee, tea, and soft drinks. Now, are we at risk? Yes. That's why you're not supposed to be drinking it all day. Come back, I'll tell you more about it. And then Randall in Cornelia, Georgia, wants to make a comment about coffee and one of its deleterious effects. And what he's going to mention to you is that it might have implications for how well you age and how long you live. Got a lot of smart listeners out there. You watch. We come back, we'll get Randall on.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
to Let's Talk Nutrition, talking about coffee. Today, I talked about the day before yesterday, some of the positive results of coffee, and the study I reported on a couple of days ago was talking about how it can extend aging in a good way. Be mindful, there are some side effects, negative side effects with too much coffee or caffeine consumption. And I just want to bring it to your attention. Notice that caffeine is absorbed from your stomach. It will reach its highest levels in your bloodstream about an hour or so. It can make your blood pressure go up for a short period of time. If you have high blood pressure, I would discourage you from consuming large amounts of caffeine. You should consult with your cardiologist. It can lead to an irregular heartbeat and respiratory issues. In some cases, it's reported that too much caffeine can lead to convulsions or irregular heartbeat. Not good. Take notice. Caffeine in large amounts can interfere with the absorption of and the metabolizing of what? Calcium. That's why I tell people, don't take your supplements with your coffee with your supplements or whatever. Caffeine can get into the... I saw a woman the other day, and I've seen this many times, pregnant, deep into her pregnancy, ordering a venti, drinking coffee. What the mother eats and drinks, so does the fetus. Gets into the placenta. It's a stimulant. It would increase the fetus or the baby's heart rate. Why would you do that? Okay. Also, in women, too much caffeine contributes to the fibrocystic disease, the lumps in the breast. I'm just saying, be careful. Let's go to Cornelia, Georgia. Randall, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on, Randall.
Yeah, this study is also from Medical News Today, December 9th, 2013. It was done at Tel Aviv University, and the study is in PLOS Genetics.
Yeah, Public Library of Science 1 is the journal. Go ahead.
And they exposed 6,000 strains of yeast cells to 14 different environmental stressors, and of those stressors, only caffeine shortened the telomere length at the end of the genes, and it said it was at a concentration similar to the amount found in a shot of espresso.
Wow, that's not good. Telomeres are the caps, protective caps that contain DNA at the end of chromosomes. Are like the plastic on a shoestring. There is a theory, the telomere theory of aging, that every time there's cell division, the telomeres shorten, and that's not good. As they shorten, your lifespan, death is more imminent. You move closer to dying. There is some research to suggest that there are things you can do to lengthen the telomeres. There are also studies, though, that say when they get too long, that is not good either. So you got to always keep, the Goldilocks principle. Not too much, not too little, not too hot, not too cold. But this is an interesting notion that caffeine, I'm not familiar with that particular piece of work, Randall. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. How are you doing today?
Oh, fine.
Good. You still ordering your food, your berries from that company up there in the Northwest?
Oh, yeah, I get an order from them about every 3 months.
There you go. We tried to make contact with those folks. Gary did yesterday.
Yeah, I emailed them and I told them to mail a catalog to you.
Okay, very good, Randall.
Yeah, they ship their berries out in styrofoam coolers with dry ice, so they always arrive frozen.
That's great. Well, we appreciate the tip, and we appreciate your listenership, and thank you for making this contribution to today's show.
Can I mention one more thing about that study?
Absolutely.
Okay, they said there's 400 genes that interact to maintain the telomere length, and the two main ones are the RAP1 and the RIF1.
Right.
But they said most of the genes that are responsible for the telomere length are also those genes are also in humans.
Yes, they are. So I'm going to look into it. I'll go on Cochrane or PubMed, one of those databases, and I'll check it out and see what I can find.
Yeah, it's at Tel Aviv University, and the professor is Martin Kupiec.
All right.
Kupiec.
I'll find it. I'll find it for sure. Thank you, Randall. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Have a nice day today in Cornelia, Georgia. And Richard Passwater is my guest, educator for
Biominerals.
Yeah, turn your mic on. He turned his mic off. That's what we do with guests. We pretend that we like to let them think that they're on the air. Biominerals. You said that's a Belgium company, and they send them around the world. He just got back from Brazil.
That's right. I was in Brazil at a functional medicine conference there, specializing in personalized medicine. It's a growing trend around the world. It's very active right now in Brazil and in Italy. And
what is functional medicine?
This is a personalized plan where a patient goes to a doctor, and the doctor prescribes individualized prescription specifically for that person. They take the prescription to a compound pharmacist that makes a supplement or a medication specific to what the doctor...
How does the doctor know the idiosyncrasies, the chemical, metabolic, and so on idiosyncrasies of an individual? How do they get to that data?
It's an evolving field. There appears to be some art and some science involved in it. Some factors are as basic as weight and sex. As an example, men generally have more blood pound per pound compared to a woman, and the more you weigh, the more blood you have. So with some medications and supplements, it doesn't seem to matter how much the dose is. Everybody gets a similar result with the same dose. But other things, the more somebody weighs, the more blood they have, the more you need to give to the person.
Do they do how can I put this? A biomedical profile of a person, do all kind of blood testing and genetic testing to build this portrait of a person? Is that what they're doing?
There's both. There's the technology for gene typing is becoming more prevalent in these markets. They do tests looking for SNPs or genes that don't function the way the average genes does.
So then the doctor prescribes medications or therapies based upon this information?
That's correct.
Well, let me ask you, how practical is that? I mean, we have a heart. There's more than a few people. I could get these lines lit up for the next 50 days. Watch. How many of you have had a hard time getting a simple medication from an insurance company? You get what I'm saying?
Same.
Right? I mean, it takes an extraordinary effort to get these data. We'll come back. We'll see what the practicality of that is.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Nutrition. Great to be with you. And Richard Passwater is my guest. He just got back from Brazil. I always ask people that travel around the world, I don't know how many tens of thousands of miles, probably hundreds of thousands now. When they go into these different cultures, what do they learn about the food? How many, were you in Sao Paulo?
I was in Sao Paulo, yes.
All right, so how was the food?
They really enjoy food in Brazil. And
what did you eat?
I hung with some people that really like Mediterranean food, and we had a lot of Moroccan and Greek food. A couple of times I had some classic Brazilian or Portuguese food as well.
Like what? What would be a classic Brazilian dish?
We had a dish with some rice and the gamba. It's sort of like a big shrimp or a small lobster.
Yes.
On top with kind of a butter garlic sauce. They was at a dish I had at a.
It probably tastes yum.
Yeah, it was tasty.
Yeah, see, I won't eat that. Gary, see if you can find Brazilian whole food plant-based diet. Brazilian. I wonder what we would find. Was there anybody in your group that was a vegetarian, a vegan, or a whole food plant-based person?
Yes, in the nutrition industry, there's quite a few people.
What did those people eat in Brazil?
The quinoa is a popular grain that they incorporated in a lot of their dishes for vegetarians.
Mm-hmm.
The eggplant, the Mediterranean food, it's heavily legume and bean based with eggplant seems to be a common protein source there as well.
There is a distinction, Richard. I know you wanted to come talk about BioSil, but I got to take advantage of your knowledge.
Oh, I love talking about travel.
All right. We have vegans, we have vegetarians. And then there's a group of, a category or a paradigm, whole food, plant-based. And people say, oh, it's all the same. Richard, it is not the same. I want to get, let me make the argument, and then I want to hear your comment. You may disagree with me. You got vegans will abstain, of course, from eating any animal products. We agree on that, right?
Yes.
No question about that. Vegetarians they may eat eggs, they may eat some dairy, right?
There doesn't seem to be a compendial definition on what a vegetarian is.
Okay.
So some eat fish, some eat they're lacto, where they eat cheese and perhaps drink milk and eat eggs. There's a variety of different flavors or grades of vegetarianism. Absolutely.
Okay. Now you got this whole food plant-based paradigm. It emphasizes whole foods, vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, seeds, nuts, and so on. No meat, no dairy, no oil. It's even more strict. It makes a vegan look like they are a pagan, a nutritional pagan. It's strict. This whole food approach is strict. And emphasize whole foods. And many of the whole food plant-based doctors in their writings, I even avoid using the language of vegetarian or vegan. And so they recognize this difference. There are no eggs. They don't eat eggs. They don't like eggs. They argue against them. So this is a different paradigm. Your take?
I clearly agree it's a different paradigm, and I respect that they're working to clarify definitions so that when research is done in one area, people know exactly what the diet was for involved in that study. Using a term like vegetarian is so watered down these days, it can create a lot of confusion when comparing studies or talking about them. I myself.
What's your diet?
I eat white meats, and I think egg is a a good food. People like to argue with me about that, and I tend to. I always say that if I can't make somebody mad talking about politics, talking about religion, or talking about sports teams, bringing up whether to eat eggs or not is often a polarizing topic that will.
If I said to you, an egg is one of the worst things you could eat, would you walk out of the studio?
No, it's a free world. Everybody has an opinion, and there's science both ways. I choose. I choose to. I see what I see, but I see the other stuff there as well. But at the current time, I eat eggs.
Let's go to Tampa, Florida. Bill, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on, Bill.
Doctor, here we go again with the coffee. It sounds like the same crowd with the wine and the alcohol. I mean, if you are totally depleted of any nutrition, eating the typical American diet, maybe coffee, the small amount of antioxidants in there might have effect. But for you and I mean, it would have no effect because they're full of antioxidants. But it's that same narrative that the coffee, the wine, the saturated fats are all fine for you. And by the way, eggs, I believe, are a whole food from God. There's so many other things in there besides that saturated fat. But you mentioned the other day about the coconut oil.
Yes.
I mean, there's people pouring that in their shakes. I know guys right now who are just all over fitness and think they know everything, and they're putting spoonfuls of that coconut oil in their shakes every morning, and I just don't believe in it. There's common sense. Use your brains, people.
I know. I agree with you. I won't have time in this segment, and in the next portion of the show, we're going to talk about BioSil. At the top of the next hour, I'm going to tell you. I hope you don't get mad at me. I will report and I will share with you what some have said about eggs being one of the worst foods to eat. It's the flip side of the coin. You have to decide ultimately which camp you move into. Do you go with the chickens or not? I got a guest in the studio today. He thinks eggs are fabulous. Well, we'll see. I go on other shows and I'll say, drinking a glass of milk, having an egg? What are you trying to do? Commit suicide? And they go berserk. It's okay. I do it for effect. We'll see. I'll tell you about the dark side of eggs according to some. But it's all done. I try to do it with a sense of humor. I'm not ideological about this. I'm just trying to make you aware. And we'll get Richard Passwater to reply. He's fresh from Brazil. He didn't pick up a bit of Portuguese while he was there. He probably didn't even listen to any Brazilian jazz music, Latin jazz. I don't know. I would have. LTN Coast to Coast. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for stopping by today. Richard Passwater is my guest, and he's an educator for BioMinerals. He also, BioMinerals has a relationship with Natural Factors, and Natural Factors is the distributor in North America for the product BioSil. It's a collagen-oriented or based product. It's not collagen. It's choline-stabilized orthosilicic acid. That's what's in the product. And that is the chemical compound that's responsible for the synthesis of collagen, or implicated in the synthesis of collagen in your body. It's a different approach than some of the other collagen-based products. The product is millions, tens of millions of dollars have been invested in the research to develop the product. Took them a long time to figure out how to make it work. And brother, does it work? Clinical trials, hair, skin, and nails, connective tissue. All in all, it is one of those products that you should take every day. It makes a great contribution. He's going to talk about it. I alluded to the idea that you're almost considered a heretic if a person says, don't drink milk and don't eat eggs. They'll throw you out of the room in some places. This business with eggs. My guest today is a fan. Go ahead, tell them how much you love them.
I think eggs are a solid food choice in moderation. Like I'm a big believer in moderation.
Why do you think they're good?
I like it's a complete protein. Has a nice vitamin compound or profile. It's in many people, it's the largest source of choline, as an example. The 90% of the U.S. population, according to a recent 9 study, isn't getting the adequate intake for choline. And I think it's 425 milligrams for women and 550 milligrams a day. Eggs are a great source of choline. Which can help control homocysteine levels, help control cortisol levels by helping to neutralize the compound. I also, as people get older, they often have trouble with chewing. An egg is an easy-to-eat food, easy to prepare, and I think it's a quality food.
Okay, so let's pretend that we're two lawyers doing an opening argument to the jury about our client, the egg. Our client is the egg, and Richard made his opening statement to the jury about eggs. And here's my take. I'm playing devil's advocate here, so don't,
not devil's egg.
Don't try. Don't get mad at me. First of all, eggs have 0 dietary fiber. 70% of the calories of calories in eggs come from fat, and a large portion of that fat is saturated. Eggs, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, also loaded with cholesterol. There's about 213 milligrams for an average-sized egg. By the way, people who have diabetes and cardiovascular disease or high cholesterol should consume what? Less than 200 milligrams a day. So if they ate an egg, they're already over their limit. You got a lot of fat and cholesterol packed into that little rascal. In addition, eggs are a health hazard because the eggshells are fragile and porous. And on egg farms, and the condition on egg farms are crowded, eggs are the perfect environment and host for salmonella, the leading cause of food poisoning in the good old US of A. A lot of protein in eggs. I've heard that much concentrated protein in one egg is not a good idea to consume all at once. That's up for grabs. I could cite a number of studies showing a connection between eggs and cancer, diabetes, heart disease. I can roll those out if you like. So that's just a sketch of what I would say about eggs.
Well, I would like to rebound. First,
go ahead.
preferencing that this is outside my wheelhouse, and I'm
Don't make any
speaking more of
excuses.
a health enthusiast as rather than an expert in the about eggs. But many of these association studies where they link egg consumption, one has to realize that eggs are often incorporated in a diet that has a lot of unhealthy.
We eat eggs and bacon,
eggs and bacon,
ham.
and ham and sausage are three examples. These preserved meats are generally cured with nitrates. Nitrates by themselves aren't that bad.
So you're
There's
thinking that
nitrates in vegetables as an example, which can actually be antioxidants in the body. But when you put nitrates in meat and cook with them at high temperatures, especially involved in frying, you make a compound of carcinogenic compounds called nitroamines. So these nitroamines can really wreak havoc in the body. And if somebody eats eggs and bacon, I think egg is often dragged into a downward spiral of health problems.
So you're saying an egg is like a good kid that's hanging around with some of the more criminal element in the neighborhood. Is that what you're saying?
The egg often is the good kid brought into otherwise plate full of bad kids.
Okay.
And one has to be careful when looking at these epidemiological studies to ferret those types of covariants or whatever the term is today to explain those out.
A couple of studies. I'll just reference them. You can look them up and make them what you will. 2.5 eggs per week. Men increase their risk for prostate cancer by 81% compared to men who consume less than a half an egg per week in that study. Even moderate egg consumption in this one study published in the International Urology and Nephrology Journal tripled the risk of developing bladder cancer. In a 1992 study, which is old, those who consumed 1.5 eggs per week had nearly 5 times the risk of colon cancer compared to those who consumed hardly any or fewer than 11 per year, according to the International Journal of Cancer. And the World Health Organization analyzed 34 countries in 2003 and found that eating eggs was associated with death from colon and rectal cancers. In terms of diabetes, studies published in Physicians' Health Study included more than 21,000 participants. They found that those who consumed 7 or more eggs per week had an almost 25% increased risk of death compared to those who had the lowest egg consumption. Heart disease, there was a study they found published in the Canadian Journal of Cardiology. After they ceased eating egg consumption after a heart attack, which is often recommended, by the way, that served the patients well, but they found a correlation between developing heart disease and eating eggs. So I don't know, Richard. It's all over the place. Why am I just doing it to cause trouble and stir up trouble? No. I don't like to get comfortable with what seems to be accepted. I didn't even mention the egg lobby's attempt to market eggs and say things that were not true. I didn't even get into that arena. This whole business of milk and eggs.
Well, those are two very different compounds.
I understand, but they have become that's like those two foods are considered what in our culture as wholesome,
a staple, wholesome staple,
and everything. What people don't know, how much effort went into marketing to make it look that way. Those milk and eggs did not gain popularity because they were rolling out one scientific study after another that said we found the holy nutritional grail. That's not how it happened. We'll be back.
Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends, Virilla Max, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension, exclusively available on Amazon.com.
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Richard Passwater is my guest. Just wanted to do a little take on that. Why go to such extent and trouble to talk about milk and eggs? And I'm not trashing them or throwing them under the bus. I just like to sometimes challenge the status quo and make us think. You know, how did we get to believe that milk and eggs are the best things we consume? And are they really? You shouldn't. And, you know, my job as a researcher and a producer and a host of a nationally syndicated show is not just to suck up this stuff like it's pablum, and to look into matters and to, you know, turn everything upside down and let's make sure. That's all I'm trying to do. Here's how to get in touch with the show. You can participate. Richard's going to tell you about BioSil. I think it's one of the best dietary day-to-day supplements to take. He'll tell you why.
You can reach us at toll-free at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255.
Thank you for entertaining that, Richard. It's part of educating. When I was a professor, I would tell the students that I was not there to inform them. The root word of professor is profess. And I said, I'm here to get us to think. I'm going to present a point of view. I want you to disagree, agree, whatever you want to do. And that's part of learning. Learning is not just accepting things, but learning is using critical thinking to challenge things. That's what I believe. So thank you for allowing that moment for you to and I go to back and forth.
I always appreciate when I come on the show, you shoot bullets at my feet and make me dance, and it always gets me
you
to think.
You do the same to me, man. You're too smart. You're smarter than I am.
And then at the end of the day, I always come up with a bunch of stuff I wish I had said. But
you said that eggs have lutein in them and are good.
Yeah, I'm a big believer that it's a source of lutein and DHA.
I love eggs,
and
Richard.
Many people, and I hope one day you cook me one of those egg sandwiches.
I told Richard I make the best egg sandwich in the world, and I love eggs. I ate eggs all my life. I don't eat them anymore. I've learned that what I've learned about them, I have not shared everything with you. It convinced me. Because it convinced me, I'm not telling you to do it, you, the listener or the viewer. If you eat eggs, enjoy them. I wouldn't eat a bunch of them.
But there's an old saying that says, "Always be curious, never be complacent." And I always respect that your curiosity is inspiring.
Gotta watch.
And you always are challenging the status quo. And I think that's the way science moves forward. We can't get complacent. We always have to challenge what we've been taught. And
absolutely,
we either prove it right or learn something from it and evolve of the thinking. And
sure, science
lead
is
the
there.
way with that, and I really appreciate it.
Science is there to confirm or disconfirm the theories, the hypotheses, and things have changed. I just think, I get uncomfortable when things get too comfortable. That makes me, I don't know, it makes me uneasy. I say, "Wait, this is too easy. Something, this is too easy." BioSil, speaking of not easy, how many years did it take the scientists at Biominerals to figure out how to put that orthosilicic acid in a stable state?
It was invented at the University of Antwerp by a group of professors there led by Dr. Dirk Vandenberg. And at the time, it was very difficult to study silicon, the mineral silicon, because the test samples were not stable. And they took many years to try to stabilize in a non-toxic way to be able to perform more reproducible science that didn't involve erratic results from the test samples.
What made them think that orthosilicic acid was an important compound to begin with, and they needed to stabilize it?
Well, there's in human physiology, there's 10 enzymes that are involved in collagen production. And enzymes are powerful machines or in the body, or craftsmen in the body that perform tasks. They either break something down or they build something up. And in this case, we're talking about enzymes that build collagen. And enzymes need cofactors. Generally, they need a vitamin or a vitamin-like compound, and they need at least one mineral in order to function properly, to be activated and to perform their role.
Okay.
And it was widely known for many years that at least 7 of these 10 enzymes need vitamin C as a cofactor. And even school children know that if they don't eat enough vitamin C, they develop scurvy, which is a collagen production problem. The body's not making enough collagen, and the skin and the bones and vascular system fall apart. Many of these enzymes, in my opinion, 5, also need orthosilicic acid as a cofactor to function properly.
Okay, so let me just back it up a bit and summarize that. So the scientists at Biominerals knew that enzymes were involved in the body's attempt to make collagen, right?
That's correct.
They
yes.
knew that. And they figured out that it's probably about 10 of them.
That's the general consensus. There's 10.
Right. And 7 of those 10 required vitamin C to help them do their business.
That's right.
And then your thinking was, and their thinking is, there was about 5 that needed orthosilicic acid to make the enzymes work.
That's correct. Yes.
So this is interesting. Orthosilicic acid is one step or 2 steps removed from actual collagen.
Well, orthosilicic acid's a single silicic acid molecule. It's the biologically relevant form of the mineral silicon.
Okay, so how does silicon get implicated in this?
The silicon is a cofactor in activating the enzyme that several of the enzymes that actually make the collagen.
So you need silicon to activate the enzymes, and then you need orthosilicic acid to...
Well, that's the only form of silicon that has biological relevance.
So that's... okay, got it. We'll come back. I'll pull it together tighter.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Did you know that 7 in 10 people have digestive issues? It's no wonder, really. When you take a closer look at what's inside, you'll see that our intestinal environment is similar to a lush garden, a flourishing biodiversity comprised of healthy gut flora that we depend upon for our health and well-being. Stress, over-sanitization, over-processed foods, and the overuse of antibiotics have clear-cut our guts, leaving our tummies feeling, well, not great. You see, what we have done by killing off the gut flora is damage the soil of our inner gardens. With damaged soil, nothing can really grow or flourish, and disease starts to set in. But we will let you in on a little secret. Fermentation makes all the difference. You know that bloated feeling you can get when taking a vegan protein? Oh, come on. We know you know. Almost all of us get it. That feeling comes from a natural protective casing that surrounds grains and legumes. Because this casing acts as a natural defense mechanism to prevent the grain or legume from being digested, the result is gas and bloating as it passes through our digestive tract. This is where the magic of fermentation comes in. Only fermentation breaks down this casing, freeing the nutrients for absorption by your body. Not only that, but it amplifies the existing nutrients. This means you are getting all the available nutrients from your protein. But there's more. Remember our garden that we clear cut? Well, fermentation, when done right, actually restores that biodiversity of flora. Fermentation naturally replenishes the soil in our garden. Can your protein powder do all that? Well, ours can. Fermented Vegan Proteins Plus by Genuine Health. 7 plant-based sources for a complete amino acid profile. No bloating, maximizes protein and nutrient absorption, and strengthens your gut health. Gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, and 100% vegan. Try some today. Your gut will thank you. Genuine Health is possible.
Do on the show is to make sure that we get things down to their basic understanding so that the host can understand it. Because, it's important. I need to understand what these guests are talking about. Richard is so smart and knows so much. I'm the guy in the remedial class. So I'm just saying. So be patient. And I'll explain to you what I now understand how this works.
Well, if you're the guy in the remedial class, Doc, I'm the guy with my tongue stuck to the flagpole outside there.
These are the two most humble guys I think I've ever done a radio show with.
That's pretty good. That's good, Gary. There's a lot of collagen products on the market. Lord knows the cosmetic industry is making tens of billions of dollars, if not hundreds of billions of dollars, on collagen products. Collagen is the beautifier. That's one way to think about it. But collagen has so much more importance than to give you beautiful hair, skin, and nails, which BioSil will. BioSil is not collagen. It is stabilized orthosilicic acid. This is what I learned from Richard. I'll break it down, then I'll let him continue with his argument. Orthosilicic acid is a body-ready form of silicon. Silicon is, in the form of orthosilicic acid, is necessary for at least 10 enzymes that are implicated in the making of collagen. So in the chain, it's orthosilicic acid to enzymes which then get activated by the orthosilicic acid, which make the collagen. Do I have that right, Professor Passwater?
That's correct. Collagen's a strong, flexible, fibrous protein that's made out of amino acids. And the enzymes put together the amino acids and link them and alter them to form the collagen
So that's
structure.
the kind of work that the enzymes are doing.
Yeah, if somebody eats a collagen supplement, the body breaks it down into the amino acids it contains and some other compounds such as pyruvate and ketoglutarate. Some of these compounds can be used as building blocks for new collagen,
Right.
but the collagen itself doesn't activate the enzymes that make new collagen.
Okay, that's great point. Eating collagen or taking a collagen supplement doesn't make new collagen.
It doesn't directly activate the enzymes.
It doesn't directly activate the enzymes to help make new collagen.
So BioSil does. I don't have a bad thing to say about collagen supplements.
No,
but
I don't either.
They provide a different role than what collagen generator.
I have sponsors who are collagen-based companies. I have nothing against that.
It's a completely different mechanism of action on how they benefit the body.
It wouldn't hurt to take BioSil with some of those products.
Oh, it would be a very complementary type protocol because they work two.
So let me tell you why.
Ways.
Let me tell you why I've tormented you with this. Because I've had people say to me, Dr. Garko, you talk about BioSil, you say it's a collagen product, but it doesn't say collagen in the ingredients. How can it be collagen? And they get confused. You see? So that's why I wanted you to clean that up a little bit for me and for the listener and viewer. And when you buy BioSil, you're not going to see collagen, 10,000 grams of collagen. No, you're going to see choline stabilized orthosilicic acid, right?
Yes, it activates those enzymes and it also protects collagen structures in the body. The choline can neutralize homocysteine.
If you didn't have orthosilicic acid in the body, could you make collagen?
No.
Ding.
There was a study, a lot of work at UCLA by Edith Carlisle, where she took a variety of different animals, particularly chickens, and deprived them of silicon from their diet, and really showed deformities throughout all the connective tissues, bones, skin, joints, so
be mindful. Richard just used the word silicon. Orthosilicic acid, just remember it, think of it as a body-ready form of silicon. Okay? That's what it is. So in that chicken study, no silicon, they got sick.
They really, their bodies fell apart.
Their bodies fell apart. So you see that what I'm saying to the listener and viewer, that's what this product is. And it's not one that you take for 6 weeks and you're done. In order for the body to continue to make the collagen, you got to continue to take the product. Here's the bad news about collagen production in the body at age 20?
21 or so, the body generally reaches its peak for collagen production.
Oh, geez.
And then all throughout somebody's adult life, collagen production generally slows down a little bit, and also we tend to do more things that destroy collagen.
Like what?
Homocysteine.
What will destroy collagen?
In my opinion, the four big destroyers of collagen in the body are homocysteine, which is a byproduct of metabolism, or methionine metabolism.
Okay, we'll get into that. Homocysteine.
The stress hormone cortisol. Is destructive to collagen, and very much like homocysteine, it's chemically corrosive.
Okay, we'll get to that. What's the next one?
Free radicals.
All right.
Friends of free radicals.
And what's the next thing that destroys collagen?
Glycation, sugar, through a very violent glycation reaction.
Let me see if I can. Homocysteine comes from what? How would that happen?
Homocysteine is a byproduct of methionine metabolism.
So, in terms of diet or lifestyle, how
the body needs.
Where does it come from?
As the body's processing methionine, it has.
Where does that come?
It's an amino acid.
Here's my question: are people eating something to get too much homocysteine? Are they doing something?
Well, the body's built to try to spare methionine from the diet. It's very important, and the body, the normal process is it has homocysteine.
How do I get my question is, Professor, how do I get high homocysteine levels? From what?
The body stops recycling it in its
Why?
normal biological
Why?
pathway.
Why?
Because the body is deficient in a methyl donor, such as B12,
Okay.
B6.
Stop.
Nutritional
there it is.
deficiency.
There it is. It's a nutritional deficiency of B12.
B6, folic acid, or choline.
So if you're deficient in B6, folic acid, or choline, if you're under high stress and making more cortisol than you got sense, if you're creating more free radicals than you have sense from smoking, bad food, alcohol, and whatnot, many free radicals, and if you're eating too much sugar and it's cross-linking with proteins, you're aging faster than you need to because the collagen matrix is breaking down. You understand?
That's what I wish I had said.
Is that why you get wrinkles?
Yes.
Yes.
That's why your hair grays. That's why your skin sags. That's why your teeth fall out. That's why your knees give way.
Lose the radiance in the skin as the collagen reflects light. As it breaks down, it reflects less light.
So what I'm looking at here, it's 1 lifestyle factor, too much stress, and 3 nutritional factors that break down collagen. Ding, 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 we finally getting it.
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
Which of the following will contribute to a breakdown of collagen in your body? Which of the following? A deficiency in certain B vitamins like B12, B6, folic acid, and choline. B, too much cortisol from stress. C, too many free radicals in your body that could be derived from any number of sources like smoking, alcohol, bad food, or whatever. D, eating too much sugar, which gets involved in a glycation process where the sugars cross-link with proteins. Or E, was it A, B, C, D? E, all of the above. Which one of those contributes to the breakdown of collagen in your body? A deficiency in certain B vitamins, too much cortisol, too many free radicals, too much sugar, or all of the above. Here's a hint. Usually it takes more than one thing to make stuff happen. Here's the number to call.
877-897-8255. 877-897-8255.
This is important. Collagen, this whole idea of collagen is one of the most important concepts in issues in aging well and aging successfully. If your collagen system breaks down, that matrix starts to break down, so do you. Richard, because collagen is not just for hair, skin, and nails. It's all connective tissue,
It
right?
seems to be the body's go-to material to make when it needs to make something that's both strong and flexible. If you look at the tensile strength of it, the collagen's actually stronger than steel on a pound-for-pound basis, but it's much more flexible. And the body uses it to build the framework of most all connective tissue in the body. Right. As an example, the bone structure is about 30% collagen, and the collagen gives the bone its flexibility and its ability to absorb impact. And also it serves as a binding site for the calcium phosphate crystals to be deposited into.
How does collagen get implicated with all the connective tissue, like tendons, ligaments, arteries?
All throughout our lives, there are cells, living cells in these connective tissue that are making enzymes to tear down the old damaged collagen and to rebuild new collagen. And it's, as an example, cartilage in the knee. As an example, the articular cartilage that's on the end of the long bones, and then the meniscus cartilage, which helps stabilize the knee, is about 70% collagen. And the tendons that connect muscles to the bone are about 80% collagen. The ligaments that directly connect bones and form capsules to house the synovial membrane and the fluid in the joints, they're about 70 to 90% collagen. The skin we were talking about is about 75% collagen.
So we need collagen in the cabinet. Right?
And it's very interestingly, the condition of the collagen you see in the skin is generally a nice barometer on what's happening through the collagen all throughout the body.
Interesting.
As an example, one of the early, Dr. Fuller Albright, one of the early osteoporosis researchers, noticed that older women that he treated for osteoporosis generally had thin, transparent skin on their hands, but older women that he treated for other issues that had good bones had thicker, less transparent skin.
So you see how important collagen is to you and to me. Very important concept. It gets implicated in the extracellular matrix. I won't get involved in that today, but that collagen matrix, the collagen proteins are part of that extracellular matrix, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so that's the space between the cells. And now you can start to understand, like Gary asked, is that what makes the skin wrinkle, or lines under your eyes, or lines on your face, and the hair to turn gray, and bones to get weak, and so on? It's collagen. BioSil is not collagen. It's orthosilicic acid, a body-ready form of silicon that activates certain enzymes that end up making the collagen. That's why BioSil is so important. Tanya in Tampa, that's a nice alliteration. Hi, Tanya in Tampa.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Good.
What's the answer? Which of the following will cause the collagen matrix to break down? A deficiency in certain B vitamins that I mentioned, too much cortisol from stress, too many free radicals from any number of factors, eating too much sugar, or all of the above?
All of the above.
Yeah, in one way or another. So one's a dietary, one's a lifestyle factor, and 3 of those variables are dietary. Congratulations, you won a $25 gift card.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I will be using it.
Excellent. And it'll take you, when you get that gift card, it takes them to the vdcusa.com, Gary?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. You'll get it in the mail, Tanya.
Okay.
Thanks for listening to the show. How long have you listened to the show? I'm just curious.
Since you first started in 05.
Well, thank you so much. Are you serious?
I'm serious. I moved to Florida in 05, and I found you on the AM station.
Oh, for heaven's sake. You've been listening for 12 years.
Yes, I have.
Oh,
I've
my
even
God.
met you in the Carolwood store years ago. I brought my 2 sons in when they were younger. They're now, 18 and 21, but they were...
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, so I've been listening now for a long time.
Well, I feel privileged that you have done that. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you. Gary, you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. 12 years.
Holy cow. Richard, thank you so much for being in today.
It's always an honor.
I'm sorry
and privilege to come
I'm
by.
sorry if I tormented you, because I just try to understand stuff, and you're so smart. I'm just trying to figure it out, man. So thank you for being patient with me.
I always appreciate the opportunity, and I love the way you help me formulate messaging.
How's your daddy?
He's doing wonderful.
You tell him I send my best to him.
I will. Thank you. I was in Dallas recently, or just 2 days ago, and 150 people told me to send their best regards to you. It was touching to see how, when I told them I was coming here for the show, how many of them asked how you were doing and
Really?
sent their best regards.
Wow. Oh, I'm just a messenger. I'm trying to do, just trying to teach and educate myself and everybody else. We're trying to get along here, right? I appreciate you, Richard. You're such a good guy. You're so sincere and you're so smart, and you do your best to do the best for others, and that's why we love having you on the show, man.
Come check me out tonight at Crunch.
Tell them where you're going to be.
We're going to be at 5:30 to 8. We're going to be at the Crunch Fitness in South Tampa on Del Mabry, right across from the Lowe's.
Yeah, you get a chance to meet Gary. I call him Big Boy for short. See you tomorrow.